Hi guys, good morning again. This is Miss Ria again. Today, let's discuss learning style models. So, for you guys who are planning to be a nursing instructor, you really have to pay attention to our lecture for today. But of course, as a sort of reference, a sort of additional learning, you really have to pay attention generally, okay? There are two most common use learning style models in nursing. So here are the following. So there are two most common. The first one would be David Kolb's cycles of learning and Anthony Gregor's cognitive styles models. The first one would be David Kolb's cycle of learning, which is primarily formulated year 1984. He believed that learner is not a blank state, meaning learner is not an empty paper, okay? And learner has already preconceived or predetermined ideas. Of course, I think it's generally true. Kasi before we are being taught to a particular, before we are being introduced to a particular information, parang alam naman natin, di ba? We already have preconceived, predetermined ideas prior hand. And according to him, learning is a continuous process, and I personally believe that learning is a continuous process. I learned from you guys, you learn from me. It's a reciprocal relationship. It doesn't mean that I'm a teacher, I'm not open to learning. Of course, I learned everything through my experiences, through my reading, which is a cumulative result of past experiences, heredity, and interaction with the environment. Okay, every day is a learning process. So meaning we cannot assure that we are 100% knowledgeable. We have to be open for a new learning coming from our friends, colleagues, and even from my students. I'm also open for learning. And hopefully you as a student, you're also open for learning from your classmates, for your friends, and to your teachers. The second one will be Anthony Gregor's cognitive style models, which is primarily formulated in the year 1982. So let's discuss first the Kolb's, right? So what are the impacts of Kolb's cycle of learning? Okay? Let's see. So the impact with this is the importance of Kolb's cycles of learning to the educator, of course. We will learn the learning style of the students because I believe that every student has its own learning style, di ba? May iba kasi some of you will learn through conducting lectures, some of you will facilitate learning through watching movie, watching a particular demonstration, some of you would like to listen, ganyan. So we have different learning style naman. So it enables the teacher to assist the learner in modifying, refining, and even changing preconceived ideas so that real learning will occur. And it is the responsibility of the teacher or the educator to individualize assessment with regards to the learning style of the students. So the Kolb's theory of experiential learning depicts four-stage cycle or four models of learning, and along the way we will be able to discuss that four models reflects two major dimensions of awareness and stimuli. So here are the four basic learning. The first one would be concrete experience or CE abilities, learning from actual experiences. So your past experiences during childhood, adolescence stage, that's your what we call as concrete experience by Kolb's theory of experiential learning. The second one would be reflective observation. Okay? Or RO abilities, learning by observing others. Kamu ba ng tipo na your classmate, for example, is doing a demonstration, mas ma-facilitate inyong retention of knowledge if you watch a particular demonstration, you observe others doing a procedure, ganon. So, iba-iba tayo ng learning style. So, as of the moment, you have to assess yourself first what type of learners you are or how you facilitate learning, how you retain knowledge. The third one would be abstract conceptualization or such as thing that we call AC abilities. Creating a theories to explain what is seen. The fourth one would be active experimentation, using theories to solve problems. Okay. In each corresponding characteristics, one style type will predominantly manifested by the learner. Okay? So, sa isa ka characteristics na anay mga type of learners. Okay. Converger. Okay? The first one would be Converger. Learns by AC and AE. And we know that AC is abstract conceptualization and active experimentation. So when you are converging, you learn through AC and AE. Good at decision making, problem solving, and prefers dealing with technical work. So most of the converger are technically good. Uses facts and data, has skills for technology, katong mga techie kaayo. They are converger and their learning style should be AC and AE, abstract conceptualization and active experimentation. The learning methods of this would be learn best through demonstration, return demonstration assisted by handouts, diagram charts, and illustration. Through this, we will be able to identify what type of learner you are. Okay? The second one characteristic would be diverger. Stresses CE and RO. People are feeling oriented and likes to work in a group. And what are the learning methods? Of course, through group discussion. Mas facilitate nila ang retention sa knowledge through group discussion, brainstorming. Okay. So as a sort of recall, diverges, stresses, CO and RO. So people are on this type of characteristic are feeling oriented and likes to work in groups, meaning their learning methods are in group discussion, brainstorming, and etc. Now in accommodator naman relies heavily on CE and AE. So they're actually impatient, risk taker, and often use a trial and error solving problems. So it's just a sort of recall ha. Kasi nawala ko sa passing. I lost this slide, so I have to do it all over again. So just trying to make sure na discuss na ako ni previously. The best learning methods of this type of characteristic are role-playing, gaming, and computer simulation. So this type of learner are the most challenging type of learner. So mahirap silang i-praise kaning mga type of learner na ani. The fourth one would be assimilator, meaning they emphasizes the use of AC and RO. They are more concerned with abstract ideas than people. Okay? Concerned with abstract ideas than people. Very good in inductive reasoning. What is inductive reasoning? It's from the specific to the general information. Learning methods is best learned through lectures, one-to-one instruction, self-instruction methods with ample reading materials. So commonly this type of learning assimilator, they are more conducive to learning from listening lectures, from reading their self-help books like that. So they are more effective to that type of learning. Then this would be your activity number 1. So make sure that you've submitted it on time. So based on this would serve as 50 points, and this will serve as your first activity for the third monthly. So excuse me. So based on the above mentioned characteristics, what kind of thinker you are. So this was the first question. What learning style will best suit your needs? So the minimum of 100 points. You have to submit your answers today, April 8th, on or before 6 p.m. So I'll be giving you 4 hours, I think more than 4 hours to do this activity, and you have to submit it to sanchezluel96@gmail.com, and then note that late output will still be accepted but minus 10 points or 10 to 20 points and maximum, and you have to be please be guided. So you have to submit it on time and make sure ayoko yung tagay answer na medyo ka ng tinapula na answer without even thinking, without even interpreting the data that you have given to me. Make sure yun nga inyuhan na siyang gi-ansiran. Okay? Ug maayo. Dili char lang na answer. So that would serve as your first activity for the third monthly. So the second one would be Gregor cognitive style models. So Gregor identified 4 sets of dualities, or what is duality? Situations that consist two parts that are complementary or opposed to each other. So the mind has the perception. According to Gregor, the mind has the perception or the mediation abilities and ordering of knowledge. What are the differences between the two, the perception ability and the ordering ability? When you say perception ability, the way one receive or grasp incoming information, the way we perceive information, the way we receive information, the way we perceive things out from our surroundings, or stimulus in a continuing ranging from abstractness to concreteness. When you see ordering ability, from the word itself, ordering, the way one arranges and systematizes incoming stimuli in a continuum from sequence to randomness. So there are 4 mediation channels. There are 4 mediation channels according to Rigorx. The first one would be concrete sequential, the CS. Second one would be concrete random, abstract sequential, and the fourth one would be the next slide, the abstract random. Okay? The first one with concrete sequential, it's learner at this type of characteristics are highly structured. They are quiet learning environments without interruptions. So they would like to prefer, or they preferred quiet environments without interruptions. They can retain ideas and information when they are actually in a silent or a quiet environment. Me interprets word literally. Concrete random meaning intuitive trial and error method of learning and looks for alternatives. Maparaan ang concrete random. Abstract sequential naman, learners are holistic and need consistency. Have good verbal skills and rational, and they are also logical. Second one would be abstract random, meaning think holistically, learn a lot from visual stimuli. They preferred lecture ka na makita nila, and they prefer busy and unstructured learning environments. Diba may mga ganyang tao, like they want somebody, like they want to study in a noisy environment while watching televisions, parang ganun. Kasi I have a classmate that they prefer studying, labi namin mga long exams, they preferred studying in front of the computer, in front of the laptop, in front of the televisions while watching. But as far as I know, or as I've mentioned a while ago, we do have different learning styles. Some preferred a quiet environment, some preferred a noisy environment or unstructured environment as well. They focus as well on personal relationship. So principles of learning. So here are the following learning principles that can help motivate the learner. Okay, please memorize this one because this will serve as our first quiz for a third monthly, hopefully next Zoom meeting. So use several senses. And using your senses, people can only retain 10% of what we read. Always remember this. Pag magbasa ta, 10% ra atong ma-retain. 20% lang ma-retain when we hear something. Okay, maminaw lang ta. 30% of what they see or watch. 50% of what they see and hear. And I think you learn from me 50% this time because you see the lecture or you see the slides at the same time you are listening to me. So I think you learn 50% from me right now. 70% of what they say and 90% of what they say and do. So that is why it's very important na sana mag face-to-face interaction na ta. So what is the purpose of this 90%? This 90% are actually applied in related learning experiences. Kasi when you are doing a return demonstration, di ba, when you are doing an RD, you are telling or you are enumerating the procedure while doing that particular thing, right? So you are actually retaining 90% of the learning. So importante gid ang related learning experiences sa mga nursing student, okay? So we really need to undergo laboratory and hospital experiences so that high amount or high efficiency of skills and knowledge should be or will be given to us. So they are made to initiate the procedures that are demonstrated by the instructors. So importante kasi when you are doing a face-to-face interaction, enjoy good. Kasi your instructor will perform the procedure in front of you and then you will go on to study and perform it right after. Ganyan, yung role modeling. So they are graded according to their skills exhibit during the return demonstration. In this case, 90% of retention is expected. Kasi nga nakita ninyo ang yung instructor nga nag-perform procedure, then ikaw pod, giyaw-yaw nimong procedure while doing that one. So that would create actually a higher retention of learning. Okay? The second one would be active learner involvement. Use interactive methods like Q&A format, case studies, and return demonstration. Some of the students prefer this one, Q&A format. Like they would prefer to be asked by their instructors and they will go into answer. That would actually facilitate retention of knowledge for them. But some of also of my students are more like introvert. They preferred watching the lectures by not cooperating or by not actively involving themselves to the process of the lectures. So, as I've mentioned, we do have different learning style. So, we have to respect that one. Next would be conducive learning environment. When you are dealing with face-to-face interaction, kailangan yun conducive for learning at an environment. Meaning, we have to be comfortable, convenience to the learner, the noise level is not just too much, and of course, pleasant smelling. Di man ta maka-create o proper retention of learning, right? If baho atong surrounding. And of course, dust free. Learning readiness, meaning assess the readiness by looking to their emotional status, like fear, anxiety, and auditory impairment. So make sure that your learners are ready. They are emotionally healthy, emotionally stable. They do not dili wala sila fear, wala sila anxiety towards to the teachers, so that would facilitate retention of learning. Relevance of information naman, anything that is perceived by the learner to be important or useful will be easier to learn and useful. So, kasi some of the students kasi, based on my experience, pag alam na nila yung topic, they might be boring or maboringan na sila maminaw sa lecture. Okay? So, pag feeling nila dili useful, feeling nila redundant na kasi teacher or pataka na kasi teacher o gawit, parang dili na sila ganahan maminaw sa lecture. But of course, when the learner sense that it might be useful, I can learn something from that out of the lecture, they have the initiative where they would be motivated to watch or even to listen to the lecture itself. Diba? We cannot deny the fact that some of the learners are like that. Repeat the information. Repetitions over a period enhances learning, and asking the learner to apply the information and giving practical questions will help the learning process. So repetitions is the key. Even when we are preparing for a certain national board exam, repetitions is the key. You cannot absorb the information all by once or by just merely looking at the lecture or by scanning your books. You have to repeat it all over again so that your knowledge will be retained 100%, or not just 100%, but or na 99 to 100%, or 90 to 100% to be specific. That is why when I am lecturing you the fundamentals of nursing, which is considered as the basic in nursing, I keep on repeating the information all over again. Bahala masamukan mo sa ako because I want you to retain the information. The next one would be generalize the information. Give example which will illustrate the concept. Kasi guys, diba, ako din, personally, I can easily understand a particular concept if it's supported with examples. Kasi mas ma-relate na ako siya to my daily living activities. I can actually formulate some of my examples in my head if maghatap with examples si teacher. Next would be make a learning a pleasant experience, meaning give frequent encouragement. You recognize as a teacher, you recognize accomplishments and give positive feedbacks. So when you become a teacher soon, when your learners try to give their ideas, you appreciate it because 'di ba, mahirap din namang mag-participate or it takes a lot of guts and a confidence to be able to participate or actively involve yourself into Q&A portion which your teacher facilitate, right? So mahirap if you don't have that confidence, if you're not confident enough to your answers. The teacher should appreciate because the more na nag-participate ang learner, that would mean a lot to a teacher kasi pasabot ana is they're really doing their best to participate. And you also give positive feedbacks. Be systematic. Okay, information should be presented logically in an organized manner. So it should be presented based concept per concept. So it should not be jump to other topics so that your students can easily follow. Okay, and the next would be steady. Refers to the pace of presenting the information. Most of the time, I feel guilty with this because I really tried my best to lower or to slow down the pacing. That is why when I conducted through Zoom, I really told you guys to please inform me if I speak too fast na because I could adjust naman. Not too fast so that the learner will not have difficulty in catching up, and not of course not too slow. So that is why I'm open for I'm open for like an improvement. Like for example, Miss, you can you please slow down for a bit? Like, can you please slow down your pacing, Miss? Because we cannot understand immediately the concepts, or we cannot catch up with the lecture because you speak too fast. I'm okay with that, guys, because personally I am really guilty sa ana na kanina concepts, kaning study. So, most of the time talaga, my pacing are too fast. When I try to slow down, mawala ko sa passing. Pag ganyan. So, I also have friend of mine who are like me. But of course, feel free to inform me if my pacing are too fast. Okay? And that would be all for the day, guys. And please sorry, kasi feeling na ako na dry na akong throat. Please prepare for our next Zoom meeting. We will be having our quiz next week. So I think a holiday for tomorrow. Holiday, di ba tomorrow holiday? So I hope we will be able to meet next week through Zoom for our quiz. And be reminded that they study well because third monthly na ta, guys, so you need to bawi na. Okay, so make sure that you are able to submit the activity for today in a timely manner para dili mo mabawasan og 10 to 20 points maximum. And please do your best in every activity and every activity that I will going to give you. Okay, that will be all, guys. Thanks for listening and have a good day.